2001. So I've had that house since then, but it was rented most of that time until I retired in 2014. See, so I hadn't been living for any length of time in Fredericksburg since I left to go to school, Virginia State. Mm-hmm. But I kept up with things and people, and always regularly came home and to see Mom and Grandma and Granddaddy and everybody else.
Absolutely. I guess after all this COVID business is done, are you planning to come back?
Oh, yeah, I'll be going home, and the next, probably after Thanksgiving. I'm just going to stay here through Thanksgiving because, I would used to go back and forth more frequently, but I'm limiting the time on airplanes and stuff like that for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So I was home for about 3 months in Fredericksburg, so I've been here with my husband for about 3 months. So, I've got to go back and check on the house and stuff like that, even though Xavier has a key and my cousins have a key, but, they probably go feed the porta plants just before I tell them I'm getting ready to land. You know how that goes.
Oh, I know.
Or else they go over there and eat up everything that's left in the refrigerator. It's so funny. They're so cute because I know they've been there because Xavier's been in the car because I see Equal, those little packs of Equal, and I don't use that kind of stuff. And the seat isn't where I left it. You know how that goes.
Yep. Try to be slick.
Oh, they try to be slick, but they don't know. They can't fool an old fool. I've seen it all.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've really enjoyed this.
But we have to do part 2 because you haven't started on my diplomatic journey.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, if that's what you want, if you want to know all about, did you just want to know my Fredericksburg history or my history of me?
For this particular project, just the history of Fredericksburg.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to think of some other things probably and most likely that I can, when I think of them, I will shoot you a note and then I can share them with you because, your questions bring about memories of things that I may have slipped, you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
There was we had a black policeman by the name of James Dyson. Are you familiar with him?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Mr. Frank White last week who mentioned him to me.
And my granddaddy wrote an editorial about him, too. He was commending the first black policeman, and he said, but the city sent him to the most raucous neighborhood in town. He said, where they curse and stay up half the night. And he said, I just hope that they will not, bottom line, they don't, just take advantage of him down there. My grandfather did, in other words, he took care of us as well as them. He did not, he called it like he saw it. He didn't care what color you were.
And to me, that's the best type of person, and it makes for a good leader.
You got to. You really do. But yeah, he has an article, a letter to the editor about this, Dyson and all like that. All of those things I have originals for all that stuff. Isn't that amazing? Granddaddy kept all that stuff. And Mama kept it, And I inherited it, and I wrote the book.
As part of this project, there's another piece of it. We're developing a civil rights / Black History Trail in the city of Fredericksburg.
Mm-hmm.
And documents like the ones that you have are fascinating. Not having the originals, but maybe a picture of.
Well, I cannot tell you how pleased I am because I want them to be where they will be utilized, seen, and I would love it. And what I did, I have digitized most of them. Well, I didn't. Somebody helped me do it. But I have the originals, and if they could be in a safe place, I would be honored to turn them over to the university. I would be very honored.
Thank you for offering, because I'm co-leading this effort with the city of Fredericksburg.
Okay.
And part of the UMW's part in this is we have our special collections library for the university.
Okay.
And they would definitely be in safekeeping here. And we also have our historic preservation department.
Okay.
And history and American studies department. And two of the professors from those departments are part of the team that I, constituted.
Well, Chris, you got yourself a deal, because they are. Mark Olson went out and got me this paper to keep them in. So when you would handle them, they are. I think they call it acid free or something like that. So I have them in those covers, as I was perusing them for my research. But I have all of those things there, and I would be very, very comforted knowing that they're going to be in a good place, a place where they'll be used.
Oh, most definitely, because, my vision for this, not only oral histories project, but the Black History / Civil Rights Trail, is to have first-hand accounts of stories like yours, but also complementary pieces like documentation.
You have my grandfather's collection with all the respect and gratitude for being able to keep these in a place where generations from ours will be able to benefit from them and hopefully learn from them. And that has just made my day, and I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you for entrusting me
Yes.
With these treasured items, because that's what they are. They are treasured.
Well, my grandfather believed so in education, as you will see. So I think he would be very, very, very pleased about it. And I had thought about Virginia Union, his alma mater, but this is the place he grew up. He received an honorary doctorate from Virginia Union, and all those papers and newspaper articles and letters from the president of the university, where he was unanimously decided that it was unanimously determined he would receive that. All that is in there too. I have all those letters signed from the then president of Virginia Union and all like that. So it's history just beyond Granddaddy too. It kind of state stuff also.
Wow. I definitely understand your thought process with handing them over to Union. But, I think about Shiloh Old Site is literally 5 minutes from here.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. This is the only church that he pastored,
Yes.
Shiloh Old Site. Mm-hmm. And then the school, the Mayfield High School. So everything he did. Oh, he did have another teaching job before, and that was at the Mayfield High School in Kentucky. And I have the certificate where he was, what do you call it, when they accredit you that you can teach and do certain things in certain states. I had that too. Granddaddy kept stuff, so I guess Mama got it natural,
Wow, and thankfully they did keep everything.
I know. And thankfully, I decided that I wasn't just going to toss that stuff when I got out all those boxes, that I started looking, and I said, well, thank you, Jesus,
Yes.
When I found that stuff, I just wish Mama could be here for me to say, Mama, I'm so glad you told me to get these things and save this material. I'm so glad,
Oh, absolutely. And just such a credit to really, their foresight.
Yeah.
And for us, our generation and beyond, to be able to, see these documents and such.
And I would have never known my great grandfather was a slave. You know, because Granddad